Friday. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. It is February 18th. 2025. We are coming off of a long weekend, and believe it or not, we are hitting a new all-time high. So we talked about this a lot, getting in and out of the range and how the market's been waiting for something over the weekend. There actually wasn't quite much. There was another accident with a plane, in this time in Canada, and that was very interesting. You had a meeting with China and a lot of the tech leaders, and then there was a meeting with Saudis and Russia and Ukraine, kind of a meeting. They pretty much came up with plans about what is going to happen in Ukraine. So we got an interesting week ahead. You did not have a watch list, but I don't think you really needed it. Believe it or not, even though we're breaking out, even though we're playing the first 100 days and we're on day 27 or something, the fact of the matter is you don't have the big data. You're coming off of a lot of other stuff. We do have individual stuff, and if anything, you are going to be getting a lot of information from overseas. France, Germany, Spain, all of that. Javier Milei rug pulled everybody on crypto. We'll see how it all plays out, but we have all that. I got the breakdown for you. It should be a fun week, and then we see where it goes, but do not get chopped up. Oh, yeah, and Intel. Intel had very, very big news that I'm sure we will be talking about. So, Chattadonia, I hope you guys are feeling good, but come on. I missed you, baby. What's going on, baby? Good morning. Shout out to the vets, baby. How you living? What up, Tyree? What up, Tim Whitman, Malcolm, James, Gunnar, Brown, Todd, Crow, Zoraj, El Trapato, James, Ali, Ansel, baby. Good morning. The strong term. Blue Bald Eagle, Mavis, Rami, Lego, Jerry Woods, y'all. Good morning, Mo. Good morning, Jamar. I'm Mo Business in the house. Connor, Mac, baby. How you living? What up, Noah? What up, Andreas? What up, Arina, Rob, Irwin, Dirty Bird, Brian? What's going on, baby? How you doing, Avery? Good morning, Noah, Montoya, Arch Diesel, baby, Clipper Central. What's going on? Josh Jacobs, Adam, Bushnell, Jesse. Oh, my. Happy Tuesday. It feels like Monday. Oh, yeah. What up, Arch? How you doing, Michael? What about the Twitch? Ozzy Del Real, The Mercator, Weagle, Slizzin, Dev Patel, Toy Soldier, El Coyote, Blowing Dough, Robo, Handtech, Epic, Eric, and Roach Vince. Oh, and Real Fried. How you doing, baby? So, Chattadonia, I hope you guys are feeling good. Let's have a good Tuesday. That's a shout out to Walter, baby. Shout out to Vets. Oh, don't get me started. Here is Josh AI with the news, my friends. Good morning. Stocks rise on U.S.-Russia talks to end Ukraine war. Global stocks rose with Wall Street set for gains as Russian and U.S. officials met to negotiate an end to the three-year war in Ukraine. S&P 500 contracts rose 0.3%, while those on the NASDAQ 100 edged up 0.4% after Monday's holiday. In Europe, the Stock 600 index held near record highs, with defense stocks such as Rheinmetall AG and Dassault Aviation SA rallying further on expectations that governments will have to ratchet up military spending. A gauge of emerging market equities hit a 3-month high. The spending concerns weighed on European bonds, however, with German 10-year bond yields, the benchmark borrowing rate for the euro area, touching the highest in more than 2 weeks. As U.S. Treasuries trading resumed, 10-year yields rose about 3 basis points. The moves came as Saudi Arabia hosted talks between Russia and the U.S., which could pave the way for President Donald Trump and Russia's Vladimir Putin to meet. Meanwhile, European governments are mulling new defense funding measures ahead of a March 20th, 21 summit. The prospect of the war in Ukraine coming to an end is very positive, said Tim Graff, head of EMEA macro strategy at State Street Bank and Trust Company. Underneath it all is defense spending, which will be good for U.S. defense contractors, but also European industrials and defense contractors. The mood on equities remains bullish overall, with the Bank of America Corp survey showing global stocks are the most popular asset class with investors. Fund managers' cash levels have dropped to the lowest since 2010, indicating greater willingness to take on risk. Among individual pre-market movers, Intel Corp shares rose after the Wall Street Journal reported that Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company and Broadcom Inc. are mulling deals that would break up the U.S. chip giant. Delta Airlines Inc. fell after one of its jets flipped out of control upon landing in Toronto. In Europe, Intercontinental Hotels Group PLC dropped after results, and attention is now likely to refocus on the Federal Reserve's interest rate path, with Governor Christopher Waller saying recent economic data supports keeping rates on hold until more progress is seen on inflation. His comments helped the dollar advance against Group of 10 peers. Fed officials Mary Daly and Michael Barr are due to speak Tuesday, while minutes from the central bank's latest policy meeting will be released on Wednesday. Gold extended gains to trade around $2,910 an ounce after Goldman Sachs Group Inc. analysts raised their year-end gold target to $3,100. Prices for the precious metal are up almost 11% so far this year. Some of the key events this week: Canada CPI Tuesday, New Zealand rate decision Wednesday, UK CPI Wednesday, US FOMC minutes, housing starts Wednesday, China loan prime rates Thursday, Eurozone consumer confidence Thursday, G20 foreign ministers meet in South Africa Thursday, Friday. Reserve Bank of Australia Governor Michelle Bullock and officials testify to Parliamentary Committee Friday. Japan CPI Friday. Eurozone HCOB Manufacturing and Services PMI Friday, UK S&P Global Manufacturing and Services PMI Friday, US S&P Global Manufacturing and Services PMI Friday, Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem speaks Friday, Trump and Putin teams meet in Saudi with Europe sideline. Top U.S. and Russian officials held talks in Saudi Arabia on Tuesday to discuss how to end the war in Ukraine without anyone from Kyiv involved, fueling concerns about a rapid push for a deal by the two powers that may leave Europe on the sidelines. The senior Russian official said after the meeting, which lasted roughly 4 hours, that no date had been set for President Vladimir Putin and U.S. counterpart Donald Trump to meet. He added that such a summit was unlikely to be next week. It's hard to say yet that we're getting closer, but there was a conversation, Kremlin foreign policy aide Yuri Ushakov said about the two sides' positions, according to the state-run TASS news agency. The talks in Riyadh followed Trump's landmark phone call with Putin last week, in which he reversed key U.S. positions on the conflict. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky warned his country won't recognize any agreements about us without us. Credit market calm. Price moves in the global credit market are so calm that some money managers are wondering whether a relentless rally in corporate bonds is becoming a red flag. A handful, including those at Franklin Templeton Investment Management and Axie Investment Managers, are getting more cautious about corporate bonds, with investment-grade spreads, the premium and yield that corporates pay over risk-free government bonds, at the tightest in almost 2 decades. They've been reducing allocation to the asset class in favor of sovereign debt and cash, believing that the meager reward isn't worth the risks. BofA survey shows investors haven't been this risk-on since 2010. Global stocks have become the most popular asset class, with investors who are showing the biggest willingness to take risk in 15 years, according to a survey by Bank of America Corp. Fund managers' cash levels fell to the lowest since 2010, while 34% of participants said they expect world equities to be the best performing asset in 2025, the survey showed. A net 11% indicated they were underweight bonds. Investors are long stocks, short everything else, strategist Michael Hartnett wrote in a note. The bullishness was underpinned by expectations of robust economic growth and lower U.S. interest rates this year, he said. Chinese stock rally resumes as Xi vows support for private firms. Chinese stocks in Hong Kong gained after a meeting between President Xi Jinping and prominent entrepreneurs signaled Beijing's endorsement of the private sector. Xi promised to abolish unreasonable fines against private firms and urged entrepreneurs to maintain their competitive spirit. The show of support is seen adding fuel to this year's world-beating rally in Chinese stocks, which has largely been driven by optimism over DeepSeek's artificial intelligence capabilities. Alibaba's Jack Ma and DeepSeek founder Liang Wenfeng were among the attendees at the meeting. Top overnight news. Fed Governor Christopher Waller said recent economic data support keeping rates on hold, but cuts may resume later this year if inflation behaves as it did in 2024. Waller, voters said tariffs are expected to have a modest and non-persistent impact on prices that the Fed should try to look through when setting policy, while he added the recent CPI reading was disappointing, but may be the result of seasonal adjustment issues. Waller also commented that the Fed cannot let uncertainty about policy paralyze action and decisions must be guided by data, but added that it is appropriate to keep rates on hold for now and seasonal effects may be distorting data, as well as noted that he sees inflation progress in the past year as excruciatingly slow. BBB. Top U.S. and Russian officials started meeting in Saudi Arabia to discuss how to end the war in Ukraine without anyone from Kyiv taking part. France's Emmanuel Macron spoke separately with Donald Trump and Volodymyr Zelensky on aligning with the U.S. on peace talks. BBG. Bearishness among individual investors, measured by the percentage who expect stock prices to fall over the next 6 months, reached 47.3% for the week ended Feb 12, according to the latest survey from the American Association of Individual Investors. That is the highest level since November 2023. WSJ. Crews responded to a plane crash at the Toronto Pearson Airport while the incident occurred upon landing, involving a Delta Airlines plane arriving from Minneapolis. Although all passengers and crew are accounted for, China's Xi made a strong show of support for China's private sector and its tech entrepreneurs at an event Monday as the government marshals all components of the economy to bolster growth and counter rising trade tensions with the U.S. WSJ. So Singapore will boost payments and tax rebates to households to help with living costs, PM Lawrence Wong said in his first budget, one that comes ahead of elections in November. BBG. Australia's RBA cut interest rates by 25 BP as expected, but expressed caution on the potential for additional easing given that the war on inflation hasn't been completely won. RTRS UK pay growth picked up to 5.9% last quarter, its highest level in 8 months, and employment unexpectedly rose, indicating a more resilient jobs market than expected. Traders trimmed expectations for BOE cuts to 54 BPS from 57 BPS yesterday. BBG. France proposed a reassurance force of European troops to be stationed behind a potential armistice line should Russia and Ukraine reach a settlement in their war, although there was pushback to the idea from Germany, Italy, Poland, and Spain. FT. 4 of the EU's top central bankers urged the bloc's regulatory arm to simplify the massive rules that commercial lenders blame for increasingly putting them at an international disadvantage. BBG. And yeah, bro, the DVR is on. I forgot to tell you guys. Yeah. You're going to have DVR today. I want to try something. Okay? Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. It's the older Chads requesting it. And I think we should try to help them out. Okay, so we're going to try. I know. You might even hear this 30 minutes later. We're going to be on the next stream by then. But still, you just be aware. Okay? I love you, man. Good morning. We still got more, baby. We still got more. Okay, S&P futures, they are by 0.2 Tuesday morning. Comes after U.S. equities put in a mixed performance in an uneventful Friday session and finished higher on the week with leadership from big tech. Asian markets mostly higher overnight, with Hong Kong extending its rally on tech strength, though mainland China stocks fell. European markets narrowly mixed. Treasuries weaker with some curve steepening, and the 10-year yields back above 4.5. Dollars up by 0.3. Gold is up by 0.8. Bitcoin down by 0.8, and WTI is up by 1.4. Nothing particularly incremental on tariffs, and still no geopolitical GOP consensus on how to deliver Trump's legislative priorities, with Senate leaders considering bringing their skinny resolution, which does not include the TCJ extension, as well as bringing it to the floor this week. Doge continues to dominate the headlines with some concerns about economic impact from job and spending cuts, geopolitics in focus, with U.S. and Russian officials meeting to Saudi Arabia for Ukraine peace talks. However, a lot of skepticism given the absence of officials from Ukraine and Europe from the talks. When it comes to the market, some attention on strong Q4 earnings season versus softer guidance trends on the Fed front. Waller comments leaned a little bit dovish in terms of expectations for disinflation traction to resume and open the door for more easing. China is also in the headlines with recent meeting between Xi and tech leaders. Quiet day on the macro calendar. Empire Manufacturing for February beat with new orders moving higher, though employment was lower and input prices increased at the fastest in nearly 2 years. Fed, Dolly, and Barr also scheduled to speak today. Wednesday brings January housing starts and building permits, along with minutes from the FOMC and comments after the close by Fed Vice Chair Jefferson. Initial claims are the loan release for Thursday, though busy in terms of Fed speak with Goolsbee, Musalim, Barr, Kugler, all on the schedule. February flash PMIs and Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations in January existing home sales will cap off the week on Friday. Amazon worker warehouse in North Carolina meaningfully rejected union representation. Financial Times said China may withhold Tesla self-driving license in effort to gain leverage in trade negotiations with U.S. Broadcom reportedly buying Intel chip design and marketing business, while TSM has looked into controlling some or all of Intel chip plants. Spotify to add high-quality audio as part of a new Music Pro plan. Nike announced a new brand for women in partnership with Skims. Sherwin-Williams to acquire Bass F Brazilian architectural paint business for $1.15 billion in cash. HEES agreed to take over bid from HRI that trumped the previous deal with URI. Love to cut 15% of corporate workforce and push to cut costs and streamline operations. Conagra lowered 25 guidance on customer service disruption, and FX Hun Q4 EBITDA a bit light. Wow. Good morning. How you doing, baby? Fed Governor Waller backs rate cut pause, but sees case for resuming easing later this year. Top Fed officials are grappling with how to handle potential price increases caused by Trump policy. Some ask if Fed's goals for a more inclusive job market recovery post-COVID slowed its response to surging inflation. RBA reduced cash rate by 25 as expected, remains cautious about inflation outlook. ECB Holzman sees some probability of March cut, but easing becoming harder. Bank of England Governor Bailey says disinflation process continuing. Latest labor market data in line with forecasts. Fed Governor Bowman calls for a review of banking supervision regulation. EU seeks simpler banking rules. U.S. and Russia to hold talks in Saudi Arabia without Kyiv. European leaders balk at sending troops to Ukraine as part of peacekeeping force. Trump demands $500 billion payback from Ukraine in exchange for support. Minerals for aid plan in spotlight. UK PM Starmer urges Trump to offer Ukraine security guarantees alongside Europe as part of a peace deal. French President Macron seeks to unite Europe on Ukraine peace talks after Trump-Putin call. Argentine President Milei caught up in a meme coin scandal, triggering calls for his impeachment. Bipartisan group of U.S. senators dismissed Trump's plan for Gaza. Rubio meets Saudi Arabia prince to discuss Gaza. Investors turn bearish in 2025 amid tumultuous policy changes, trade war fears, and sky-high stock prices. Bank of America's latest fund survey shows that most risk on in 15 years. Fund manager cash levels at the lowest since 2010. Xi embraces private sector aid, positive sentiment towards China stocks. Chinese 10-year bond yield rises by the most since October amid tightening fund conditions. Japan's move to raise interest rates fueling boom in corporate credit as companies ramp up issuance. Republican senators try to curb Trump tariff hawk advisor Navarro influence over trade policies. EU trade chief flies to Washington with gifts to avert trade war with Trump. South Korea mulls record $249.3 billion trade policy to aid exporters amid tariff headwind. India will continue to cut import taxes in response to Trump tariff threats. Trump tariffs could exacerbate China's overcapacity issue. Shein executive seeks to reassure investors after Trump ended de minimis package from China and hiking tariffs. OpenAI considering special voting rights to fend off hostile bidders such as Musk. Apple's quiet pivot to India as it seeks to diversify supply chains beyond China. Musk AI launches Grok 3 smart search engine named Deep Search. That's funny. Tesla revamped version of Model Y officially started mass production at Shanghai Megafactory. Chinese cool their love affair with luxury goods, hitting LVMH, Kering, and Porsche. Southwest Airlines cut 15% of corporate workforce. Delta flight flips during landing at Toronto, injuring 18. H&E Equipment Services accepts 5.3 takeover from Herc Rentals. Honda will be willing to resume Nissan merger if CEO Makoto Uchida steps down. BHP faces profit decline amidst China economic challenges. China Baidu Q4 revenue above estimates, offsetting losses through its AI segment growth. Trump critics says he is using inflated emergency claims to create legal justification for forceful action to advance policy priorities. Who taught him that? Trump issues fewer market-moving social media posts since beginning re-elected than during his first term. Doge seeks access to IRS systems that include sensitive financial info about taxpayers. White House says Musk is not Doge employee, has no authority to make decisions. Trump admin warns of cuts in federal funding for academic institutions, universities, if DEI policies continue. German ZEW confidence improved by the most in 2 years ahead of election. German industrial decline deepens with 250,000 manufacturing jobs lost. And UK's accelerating wage growth highlights Bank of England's inflation caution. Wow. My deep search. I know. Yes, I saw the plane. Man. That was crazy. Did you see? I retweeted the video. It came out this morning because a lot of them were like the interior shots and afterwards, but like there's a video, bro. Why does it look like he just came in hella fast? It didn't even look like that's it. Homeboy just was flooring it on the landing, man. So I don't like that. You like, Josh, you scared of planes? No, I'm not scared of planes. I'm scared of humans. Yeah, you'll figure it out. We got some movers, baby. Good morning. Grab is up by 11.2. STZ is up by 6.8. Berkshire Hathaway discloses 5 million position. Bro, we were just talking about Constellation on that value video. That was the one that was down the most year to date, and Warren Buffett has purchased it. Teva is up by 6.5. They have FDA accepts new BLA for AVT06 proposed biosimilar to Eylea. Intel is up 5.2. Broadcom TSM reportedly considering possible deal to break Intel up. Nibis up by 5.1. Snow is up by 3.0. Wolf Research upgrade. VG is up by 2.4 to commence commercial operations. EPC is up 2.4. City upgrade. Domino's 2.3. Berkshire stake. Love is up by 2.0 to cut 15% of corporate positions. EIX is up by 1.8. UBS upgrade. QSR is up by 1.7. Acquires remaining stake in Burger King China for $158 million. RTX is up by 1.6. EU sets 21st of March deadline to rule on Safran acquisition as part of RTX flight control business. PBR is up by 1.5. Notes FPSO Almirante Tamarade has started production in the Buzios field. No idea what that means. SCHW is up by 1.2. TD Cohen upgrade. WRD is up by 28. Follow through on NVIDIA disclosing a stake. WGS is up by 19.1 off earnings. HEES up 14 except $5 billion takeover. Oscar Health up 13. Michael Burry discloses new 200,000 position. PCT is up by 12. RXRX up by 10. AGRZO 8.7. Proposal from Tether to acquire 51% of the stake at 1241. AMTM is up by 5.8. JP Morgan or insider buy. BBWI is up by 5.1. JP Morgan upgrade. ATES 5.7. Raymond James upgrade. EXTR is up by 3.8. 200 million buyback program. NE is up by 3.0 earnings. PSN 2.1 William Blair upgrade. MRUS 1.9 granting breakthrough therapy designation of FDA. Way is up by 1.5 off earnings. SLDB is up by 90. Initial clinical data from Duchenne gene therapy candidate SGT. Prices 200 million secondary. CGBS up 17. ATYR is up by 8.2. Leerink Partners initiated outperform. Chimrex up by 7.1. FDA acceptance priority review for NDA of dordaviprone as treatment for recurrent mutant diffuse glioma. REKR is up by 6.7. European patent. TH up by 5.0. Multi-year workforce hub contract provides full-year guidance. Gilt is up by 2.5. Launches new defense division. Semis all trading higher. Chinese ADRs trading higher. Conagra trading lower by 5.1. Full year guidance ahead. MDT down by 4.9 off earnings. Baidu down by 3 off earnings. AUR down 3. Controlled equity offering 500 million. URI down 2.3. Will no longer pursue acquisition of H&E. Yuri to immediately restart share repurchase. HRI is down by 11.9. Confirms superior power proposal to HE. NEO is down by 4.2 off earnings. IQ down 3.9 off earnings. FLR down by 2.9 off earnings. Ruckus down 2.4. 4 Gilead time-limited exclusive opt-ins rights have expired. TD Cohen down by downgrade on TNet. They're down by 1. HUN down by 1.8 off earnings. INLF down by 20-0. Serve down 4-0. And then I think that's it, my brother. That is it. You all remember, Danielle. Welcome. Beautiful timing. Oh, wait. Hershey reaffirms guidance? Did they already report? Yeah, so Hershey's coming out with something now, but Chatadonia, good morning. It feels odd, but I think it's just going to be slow. Like I said, I tweeted it out. We didn't have a watch list last night, but this week isn't going to be that crazy unless Donald Trump or the Europe wants to make it crazy, essentially. We don't have that big of a data, but like we've talked about, pay attention. We are finally breaking out of this range. That's kind of where we ended up on Friday. You got a little bit here of it today, so we'll see where it all leads us. But generally, the calendar doesn't have the big events, so we'll see where any of the politics, first 100 days, the intel news, and all of that stuff takes us. So, Chatadonia, I hope you guys are locked in. We have a lot of good time here. I think we're early. So I got a lot of plays, man. And can I speak to y'all for a minute? Can I talk to you guys for a minute here? Because this is why we have this moment, baby. And honestly, man, I hope you're ready for the rest of this year. Again, I had a lot of talks with a lot of people, man. We don't know how things are going to end up. I mean, that is the reality. Things could either end up very good or very bad in the next 4 years, but above all of that, man, the whole fact of the matter, this last 4 years, the 4 years before that, the 4 years before that, and every other decade, man, why do we have this freedom to argue? Why do we have this freedom to go back and forth, man? How are we still all here as one, man? This country is absolutely amazing. I am not an extreme patriot to the sense of radicalism, but truthfully, man, I respect and love the sacrifice that many of our fellow American brothers and sisters have given, and we have a level of freedom that is both envied and taken for granted. So that's why, man, every single morning we had a nice little vacation here, got an extra day off. You get back to business, but don't forget why we are able to enjoy it, why we go out to work, man, and just the life we live, bro. Without this freedom, without the people that made the sacrifice, man, things would be a lot different. So veterans, it is truly my honor every single morning to give you a special thank you and shout out. And I encourage all of you in here, man, for real, show this love and appreciation. If you can bring this into real life, man, this is one of the most important things and one of my goals here. In the next 4 years, I really hope that we could get closer to providing assistance to homeless veterans. I think veterans, when they come home, should get the number one priority above me, above anybody, because they are the ones who have given up everything for this country. So I'm going to be really annoying about that, but every day regardless, bro, here at the Colt, we give a huge shout out, active servicemen, past servicemen, and if that applies to you, bro, thank you for your service. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for everything that you have given up for all of us, and I know we can never repay you, and some people have paid the ultimate price, man. So for real, thank you. I love you, and I really hope you take advantage of the long term. I hope you get that property. You need anything, let us know. And if you ain't a veteran, you should be saying thank you right now. So God bless you all, and big shout out, active servicemen, past servicemen, police officers, janitors, coaches, garbage men, anybody helping out their community, man. Thank you all, and we love and appreciate you. But ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Place your right hand over your heart. Say it with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, baby. Send in the jets! Oh, it's game time, baby. Oh, nah, let's go. Oh, God bless America. God bless Chatadonia. God bless the long term, bro. Oh, man. Welcome to Tuesday. You guys ready? I see everything. War headlines. It's going to be a lot of overseas today, man. You are going to be getting a lot of overseas, even though we have a little bit of data by Friday. I don't think it's going to be that crazy. And then now we are finally out of the range. I think we have Trump at one point later today, but I don't know how much is riding on it. But that being said, I do have a couple of plays. Let me send this out. And now we have 4 minutes. Let us move over to the public stream, my friends. This one was just for you. Shout out to the veterans, baby. Thank you guys for all your service. God bless America. I will see you guys there, and let's have a fun one. All right, so it's going to say, it'll take you there. You click the link. Goodbye. I love you. Good morning. Amen.